Okay, picking the best touring team to Australia since 1979, opening up Mr. Entertainer himself, Virender Sehwag. Averaged 46 with the bat, a strike rate of 74 in Australia. He was fearless. His hitting through the offside was insane. Uppercutting balls at the MCG for 6 over third man, square cuts, cover drives, whips through the leg side, some pull shots as well, check drives back over the bowler's head. Some great innings in Australia, that 195 at the MCG where it looked like he was going to score 300 in the day, and could be adaptable. You know, a match-saving 151 where he blocked it out in Adelaide showed that, you know, he had different gears, but all in all, happy to open up with Mr. Explosive himself, Mr. Excitable, Virender Sehwag. Opening up with Sehwag is Mr. Professional. It's an English knight, not Nick. No, Sir Alistair Cook. Averaged mid-40s in Australia, 500s. But it was that 2010-11 series where he just battered Australia out of the game. He was just so reliable, so hungry. 200 up at the Gabba to get a draw, 100 middle of the series. And then just when Australia just thought, can we just win one test match? 189 there in Sydney. And he just wore the Australian batsman down, knew his strengths really well, whipping it through the leg side, any width, he could cut through the offside. Good balls from the quicks, he just blocked, happy to sweep the spinners. So happy to open up with the knight, Sir Alistair Cook, who finished with 243 in his last tour. So his name is always there in the members at the MCG for that innings. So opening up, Sehwag and Cook. So a bit of yin, bit of yang. Number 3, it can only be one man, the Master Blaster, Viv Richards, averaged 51, strike rate of 74, which was insane back in the late 70s and 80s. The swagger out to bat, chewing the gum, just wanting the fast bowlers to bowl short because he was almost, couldn't bounce him, just hit so many sixes with the pull shot and hook shot. Intimidated fast bowlers before he'd even faced a ball. Moving across to the offside and just flicking it through the leg side. Took on spin as well. 3 classics hundreds in that 1979 onwards. 140 first test after World Series cricket at the Gabba. 208 at the MCG in 84-85. And then on his last tour, majestic or brutal 146 of just 150 deliveries at the Wacker. So 3 of those tons at different venues. The Master Blaster, Viv Richards, number 3. Number 4, Little Master, Sachin Tendulkar, average low 50s, strike rate of 60. So he got going as well. Good strike rate for a man who just had an impeccable technique, just copybook really. Knew his strengths really well. You know, a great straight driver early in his innings. Then could play some really good pull and hook shots, very strong square of the wicket in the offside. Then the 2 shots I always talk about is the way he hit the ball to mid-on. It's like a gun going off when you were bowling to him. And then if you got a little bit straighter, just a little fine leg, just a little leg glance there. Another man really good against pace and spin. Loved the battles between him and McGrath and him and Shane Warne. But Tendulkar, double 100 at the SCG where he chose not to cover drive. So that just shows an unbelievable, immense determination, great skill. Happy to put the ego in the back pocket to win the game for his country. Another great 100 at the MCG as well. So he got runs everywhere. 100 as a 17-year-old in Sydney and Perth. So very happy with Sachin at number 4. Number 5, it's the Prince, Brian Lara. Average 42, strike rate of about 60. Some big hundreds, 277 at the SCG. High backlift. Didn't use his feet extravagantly, but you know he just had such quick hands, good eye-hand coordination. Maybe the best player of spin ever to have played Test match cricket. You know, played Warney, McGill, Colin Miller so well. We're talking about Australia, but he dominated murally over in Sri Lanka. Number 6, going an all-rounder, the practitioner, Jacques Kallis, averaged in the 40, I think 48 in Australia, and took 21 wickets as well. Ricky Ponting recently said best cricket he played against. Big rap. But if you look at Jark Callis' stats in Test and one-day cricket, and also his fielding as well. But bat and ball, absolute superstar. Really good technician too. All the shots. Happy to play restrained innings if he stroke players like AB de Villa's got going around. Could up the ante when he decided. And with the ball, geez, he hit the bat hard. Hit the bat really hard, had a really good outswinger, good bouncer, Yorker. I remember that classic Yorker that looked like it was the end of Ricky Ponting's career in his last series where he knocked over the stumps and punter fell over in Adelaide. And in the last test, it was Rick's last test of that series, they needed a win, and Jarks just takes a sneaky 3 for 20 odd in the second innings. So one of the great all-rounders at all time, but in this team easily bats number 6. The wicket-keeper, the energiser, Rishabh Pant, averaging mid-40s in Australia, strike rate of 68. He's hit 15 sixes in Test cricket here alone. Cheeky, might lap sweep the first ball. He faces from the fast bowler, always encouraging his bowlers from behind the wicket, and has played some match-winning innings in Australia. 89 not out in Brisbane, the previous tour that helped basically a third 11 win the Test match, win the series. Then in Sydney recently, 60 off about 30 balls to give India a chance. And also resilience, that car accident he had, it's just wonderful to see that he's playing, let alone dominating at Test match cricket. So, yeah, get behind these stumps, Mr. Pant. Give us plenty of energy, and I don't mind if you ramp first ball. Go for it. Batting number 8, Mr. Swing and Seam himself, Sir Richard Hadley. 70 Test wickets at 16 in that period. 10 fifers, 3 10-fers. Just what a bowling genius. So professional, swing and seam, accuracy, no bad balls. Asking questions every delivery to the batsman. Good bouncer. Pushed them back to set up those fuller swinging deliveries. And so good into his late 30s as well. Highlight in Australia is obviously helping win a series here, but he took 15 wickets in the first test, a 9 for in the first innings. You've got the new ball, Mr. Hadley. Okay, spinner in this team, Anil Kumble, 47 wickets at 37, 4 fifers, 1 10-fer. Quick, accurate wrist spinners, mainly wrong-uns and top spinners when he first started playing. Started to get more leg spin the more he played. I had an average tour in 99-2000 I played in. I think he got 5 wickets at 98, but then he banked in with 43 wickets in only 7 Test matches after that. So he learned a way to get better, and used the bounce here in Australia to his advantage. One of the greats. 12-wicket haul in 1 Test match. Very happy to have him as the major spinner in this team. All right, number 10, Mr. Freak, Jasprit Bumrah. As I said, I feel like the best fast bowler I've seen tour Australia in my time watching. Averages 17 with the ball. Dominated in all series that he's played. That stuttering run-up doesn't give you anything, any clue that it's going to come very fast. It's going to be swinging and seaming, or it might be a searing bouncer. It could be a toe-crushing Yorker, or it could be the loopy curveball that just drops at the last minute and gets you LBW or bowled. Highlight for me, there's plenty here. I think that first Test match of this summer when he captained, they got bowled out early on day 1, India, and he sensed the moment. So he grabbed the ball as skipper and blew the Australians away. They could not get back into that Test match. And even in Sydney, he was injured and Australia weren't chasing a big total. But what would have happened if Bumrah could bowl? Could have India have won that Test match and drawn the series and retained the Border Gavaskar? You betcha they could have. All right, number 11, Mr. Imposing, Sir Curtly Ambrose, 6'7", sheer pace and bounce and accuracy, averaged 20 a wicket in Australia, multiple match-winning spells, intimidating, hostile, uncomfortable to face, loved bowling at the whacker. Obviously his biggest spell here, that 7 for 1 at the whacker with the cracks, and he just blew the Australians away. So Ambrose, maybe bowling first change here, but what an imposing fast bowler he was. Okay, we need a 12th man, and it is going to Mr. Adaptability, Mr. Versatility, AB de Villiers. I mean, he could have opened, could have had 3, 4, 5, 6, could have wicket kept. I think he bowled some off spin as well. But we've got him as 12th man because as a wicket keeper, he's one of the greatest fieldsmen I've ever seen. Average in the mid-40s in Australia. You know, one of the first batsmen to be able to hit 360 degrees. Could play traditionally as well. He had all the shots and some. Just some of the miraculous ramping of fast bowlers. Moving to the offside and sweeping him over square leg. Fast bowlers. Absolute freak. And in Australia, probably his highlight was his last innings, 169 at the Wacker. South Africa needed to win the series, and he helped get it done. So absolute freak. Run out the drinks, have a little bit of a field. AB de Villiers.